hopefully you've just finished watching your lesson 7. We're gonna do just a little bit of whiteboard practice today. Nothing crazy. I just have 8 problems for you to practice, and you can use your whiteboards or you can use scrap paper. Either is fine by me. So if you don't have your whiteboard or a piece of scrap paper and a pencil, then go get those things now. All right, here is your first problem. So you can write it down. Remember, you're pressing pause while you solve it. So the first one, I want you to do 3 divided by 10. I want you to tell me what multiplication problem would give me the result of 3 divided by 10, and then answer it. So go ahead and pause me, solve that, and press play when you're done. All right, we learned that 3 divided by 10 means that you'd have 3 holes and you'd be cutting each piece up into tenths. So each hole would have 1/10. That means you have 3 times 1/10. That's the same as this. And if you have 1/10, 1/10, 1/10, that would mean you'd have 3 tenths. All right, number 2, go ahead and write this down. I want to know what multiplication equation is the same as 6 divided by 5, and then the solution. Press play when you're ready. So 6 divided by 5 would mean that we're taking 6 and cutting each of these 6 holes up into 5 pieces. So that would be the same as 6 times 1/5. And if you have 1/5 6 times, yes, you have 6/5. And we should change that to a mixed number. 5 goes into 6 once, and there's 1 left over out of 5. All right, erase. Here's your next one. 12 divided by 1/5. Now this is like what you did today. I want to know what multiplication equation is the same as 12 divided by 1/5. Okay, hopefully you solved it out and press and play. We learned today that 12 divided by 1/5 is the same as 12 times 5. And 12 times 5 is 60. All right, erase. Next one. 3 divided by 1/6. So we have 3. We're dividing it by 1/6. What is that the same as? That is the same as 3 times 6. So 3 divided by 1/6 is the same as 3 times 6, which would mean 18. So basically this is saying if you take 3 whole amounts and you're cutting them up into sixths, how many sixths are there in 3? There would be 18 of them, because each whole would have 6 pieces. So then you'd have 6, 6, and another 6. Okay, here's number 5. 9 divided by 14. What multiplication equation is that the same as, and what is the result? 9 divided by 14 is the same as 9 times 1/14, which would mean you'd have 1/14 9 times, so you'd have 9/14. And we can't simplify that one. Okay, the next 3 are story problems. So let me get my next sheet out for you. And here is your first one. And we're gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna pause it, solve it, press play when you're ready. Mrs. Trombley made 10 pancakes and cut them into fourths. So if you can picture this, here's 1 pancake. I cut it into fourths, but I did that 10 times, okay? How many fourths does she have? So I wanna know how many fourths I would have in 10 pancakes. Go ahead and write me a multiplication, well, write a division equation and a multiplication equation. Let's do that, and then press play when you're done. Okay, so I'm taking these 10 pancakes and dividing them up into fourths, right? So I'm taking 10 and dividing it by 1/4. That's what fourths mean. So if I want to know how many fourths I have, 10 divided by 1/4 would be the same as 10 times 4, which would mean 40. I would have 40 fourths. And think about that. If this is 1 pancake and 1 pancake has 4 fourths, wouldn't 10 pancakes have 4 times 10? Which is what it says right there, except it says 10 times 4 because of the commutative property. All right, here's your next one. And again, you're gonna write a division and multiplication equation. That'll be my hint to you. I'm not giving you any addition or subtraction today. 4 friends share 7 apples evenly. How many apples does each person get? So I want you to write a division equation, and then I want you to write the multiplication equation you could use to solve that. So 4 friends are sharing 7 apples evenly. I want you to think about what you're dividing up, because that's what you're supposed to start with. You're not dividing up your friends, aren't you dividing up the apples? So this should be 7 divided by 4. The 7 apples are being divided up between 4 people. Order matters when you divide. To get this answer of 7 divided by 4, I can take 7 times 1/4. I can take 7 times 1/4. And so when we want to know how much each person gets, the answer would be, if I have 1/4 7 times, 7/4. And now we can go ahead and change that to a mixed number. 4 goes into 7 once, and there are 3 out of 4 left over. So if we have 4 friends sharing 7 apples, that would mean that each person would get almost 2 apples, which makes sense, because if we had 8 apples, each person would get 2, right? Because 4 times 2 is 8. But this is 7. So that means each person gets 1 3/4 of an apple. Okay, last one. Are you ready? Ready or not? Here it is. Mr. Smith has a 4-cup container of oatmeal. 4-cup container of oatmeal. He uses 1/3 of a cup each morning for breakfast. How many days will the container last? All right, so I want you to write the division and then the multiplication equation you could use to solve it. So he starts with a 4-cup container, right? And every day he's using 1/3 of that. So he's dividing that 4 up into thirds. So you would take 4 divided by 1/3. To solve that, I can do 4 times 3. I can do that because if you have 4 whole and you're dividing that up into thirds, and I want to know how many thirds that is, well, one would have 1, 2, 3, and another one, 1, 2, 3, and another one, 1, 2, 3. Kind of looks like a little puppy. And 1, 2, 3. So this is 4 divided up into thirds, and I basically want to know like how many days it'll last. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 divided by 1/3 is the same as 4 times 3. That gives us 12 days. That's how long. And then after that, I'll probably switch to something else because 12 days of oatmeal in a row, you might get tired of it. Maybe not. Maybe it's your favorite. All right, thanks for watching.